lying in bed doom scrolling, layoffs, rising prices, articles about a coming recession, and that dream of building a small source of income, of having financial freedom, starts to feel unreal. Once again, you think, this just isn't the time. Things are too unstable. They are unstable. I couldn't agree more. But let's look at what is really going on, not in the headlines, but in numbers and patterns. Yes, the economy is unstable. Growth has slowed, yet prices keep rising. Credit is tighter, and many families are spending more just to stay where they were a year ago. Global trade is shifting. Many U.S. companies are moving production closer to home, a process called nearshoring. Mexico has even overtaken China as America's top trading partner. In the long run, that can make supply chains more reliable. But for now, it's a period of readjustment, and that usually brings uncertainty. And what about the tech sector? For a while, it looked unstoppable. Endless growth, and every company calling itself AI-powered. But in October, U.S. firms announced the highest number of job cuts for that month in more than 20 years. That's a clear sign that tech is cooling off. Many analysts now call it an AI bubble, not because the technology itself is useless, but because corporations spent billions building tools without knowing how to turn them into a profit. Let's be honest. When's the last time you heard anyone mention the metaverse? And yet, Meta has poured over $46 billion into it since 2019. It's the same pattern we saw in the late 1990s. During the dot-com boom, every company with .com in its name received enormous investments. And you know how that ended.
eBay is down 6.5%, and really you're seeing just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors. Apple's under pressure, Yahoo down 8.5%, Cisco 6.5%.
90% of them disappeared, while a few survivors went on to shape the modern internet. So yes, we may be only a few steps away from the AI bubble popping, but what does any of this have to do with your financial freedom? Stay with me. Every major crisis in U.S. history shows the same thing. People don't stop shopping. After World War II, the U.S. faced inflation, rationing, and deep uncertainty. Prices were unstable. Factories were shifting back from military work, and millions of families were unsure what was coming next. Most economists predicted people would save, tighten their belts, and wait for better times. They didn't. They bought cars, radios, and furniture, symbols of a normal life, after years of uncertainty. That wave of spending turned a fragile post-war recovery into a boom. Fast forward 50 years. The early 2000s brought a market crash and layoffs across the entire tech sector. Yet, retail sales in the US barely dipped. People kept buying. In 2008, we faced the worst financial crisis in generations. Housing collapsed, banks failed, unemployment hit levels not seen in decades. Still, consumer spending, the same spending that drives most of the American economy, began rebounding within months. And when the pandemic hit in 2020, the same thing happened again. They bought groceries, furniture, and home gym items, anything that made isolation more bearable. Global online sales jumped from $3.3 trillion in 2019 to $5.7 trillion in 2022. Epidemic, recession, market crash. The reasons change, but the pattern stays. People keep buying every single time. But why does this happen? People don't stop spending when the economy slows. They change how they spend. Economists call this the lipstick effect. This term was coined by Estee Lauder chairman Leonard Lauder, who noticed that during downturns, lipstick sales often rose, while sales of bigger luxury items fell. His explanation was simple. When people can't afford expensive things, they still look for small, affordable ways to feel good, like a new lipstick. After the 2008 financial crisis, that pattern became clear again. While automakers faced plunging sales and layoffs, beauty companies like L'Oreal and Estee Lauder reported steady growth in low-cost cosmetics. People were cutting back on major expenses like cars, travel, or home upgrades, but they still spent on small comforts. But this is not just about products. Buying itself is emotional. Shopping, even for small things, gives people a sense of control when other parts of life feel uncertain. That's why people still buy birthday gifts during recessions and still order takeout when they're stressed, because not spending feels like giving up your normal life. And what do we mean by normal life? Comfort, routine, the ability to enjoy familiar rituals. Yes, we may skip a vacation or delay a car upgrade, but we won't stop buying coffee or cancel our Netflix subscription. Those small habits create a baseline of demand that never disappears. So when times get tough, people still buy, just differently. And this knowledge can bring you financial freedom. But first, let's be honest about something. Most of us will never be the next Jeff Bezos. We won't own private jets or garages full of Ferraris. But that doesn't mean we can't carve out financial freedom for ourselves and our families. You can build something steady, something that keeps your family comfortable, gives you free time, helps you save, and takes you out of the 9-to-5 grind. If that's not freedom, what is? That's where e-commerce comes in. And what's even better, being small is an advantage. Large corporations move slowly. They depend on layers of approval, focus groups, and expensive market research before taking any steps. Their systems are built for stability, but not speed. Small stores adapt much faster than big brands. Yes, eventually, big companies dominate the market. But by the time they react, the fast movers have already made their profit and moved on to the next idea. Being small means being flexible, and in unstable times, flexibility beats size. That's the idea behind Sellvia. It's built for people who want to test ideas, not gamble everything on just one. You can run several small stores, try different product lines, and see what gains traction. If one niche slows down, another can pick up. Think of it like spreading your bets. For example, you might notice sales dipping in fashion, but rising in PC gadgets. And you can make a shift within just a day or two. Or you might spot a seasonal trend and launch a store for just a few months while demand is high. We at Sellvia handle logistics, operations, and marketing, so you can focus on testing ideas, refining products, or building your personal brand. Uncertainty isn't going anywhere. There will always be headlines that scare us and tell us it's not the best time. But stable times don't create opportunities. Unstable ones do. That's when new ideas, small projects, and personal businesses find their place. If you've been thinking about starting something, this might be the best time to do it. Not because it's easy, but because there's a good chance you can succeed and achieve that freedom you've been looking for. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.